So this happened recently. I went to visit my brother and I took my niece to go get her physical. And we went to the doctor's office and she had to get shots and she had to get the physical check. So the nurse came in and did the shot thing. And then the doctor came in, who was a male, and he started doing the physical thing. And if you've never had a physical before, you don't really know what to expect. Things are just being done to you and you assume that they're right. So being that I've gone through that when I was a kid and remembering how uncomfortable it was, I was really grateful I got to be there with her. So the doctor started, checking her chest with a stethoscope, then had her stand up in front of him, lifted the back of her shirt so her back was facing him, and then told her to bend forward and touch her toes. Keep in mind, this is just some random dude, random stranger. She's bending forward in front of her. Bum is right in his waist area, And so I'm like, okay, I know she's uncomfortable, but so far she hasn't really let me know. But so I asked him, I said, what are you checking for here? And he said, it's a scoliosis check. And I'm like, okay, good. Now she knows why this is happening, like what's going on. So he completes that process, and then he has her lay on the table on her back, and he starts feeling around her stomach, and he's feeling for different organs and things. And I'm like, man, she's taking this really well. Maybe she's not as uncomfortable as I was when I was a kid. But as soon as he walked out, she looked at me and she goes, I didn't like that. And I was like, oh, girl, I know how you feel because I was in those shoes. And even though my mom was with me, it was still like, I don't like this. I don't know this dude. He's a total stranger. I'm not used to my body being touched. He's not telling me why he's doing what he's doing. I had told my niece, what we can do is we can actually request that you have a lady doctor next time you come in because she said she'd be more comfortable with that. So when the nurse came in, I said, hey, it's really awkward for these girls. I don't know if you had a physical when you were younger, but I know for me, I was super uncomfortable. Do you think that the doctor could at least tell the girls why he's doing what he's doing? Because otherwise it's just a man touching their body and they don't know why. And so she seemed like she was on board for that. Later, I realized she wasn't really. But anyway, so the doctor ended up coming back in, the guy doctor. And when he was done talking with us with whatever it was about, I had my niece walk that way and I followed him towards his desk. And I said the same thing and I was like, hey, just a suggestion. These girls, they don't know you. And then, they may have never had a physical and you come in and you're kind of touching all over their body. Would you be able to tell them why you're doing what you're doing and what you're checking? And he looked at me and he said, so you want me to tell them that I want them to do this so I can check for blah, 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 and used all this medical stuff. And then you want me to tell them to do this and tell them I'm checking for blah, 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 blah. And then you want me to tell them to do that and then I'm checking for the da-da-da-da. No, I got a lot of patience. She could just see the lady doctor if she's not comfortable with it. And I was like, okay, well, that is great to know that you care about your patients. So I thought, all right, well, it was worth a shot anyway. We talked about the lady doctor. They said she could put it on file, but when I asked them to put it on file, they said she can't, and then she'll have to call back and request that each time she has an appointment. So that's fine. I got the lady doctor's name so I could give it to my brother. And so I told my niece when we were out in the car, if you come back and the lady doctor isn't here, tell them you need to reschedule and then leave. It's totally okay. If for some reason you have to be there and they're doing something you're not comfortable with, just walk out. Tell them you gotta go. They don't need to know why. They could think an emergency came up. Let them think what they want. But just leave. Don't put yourself in those situations where you're not comfortable or where you haven't had enough time to research it. Because honestly, when you go to something like that and you don't know what to expect, they could do anything. And you're like, okay, I'm super uncomfortable. I don't know what's happening, but I guess this is right because I'm not familiar with it. But it may not be. Some people take advantage of their authority. So don't let that happen to you because one instance can change your entire life. So protect yourself. Know that you have it within you. You have the power and have that courage to just say, I gotta go. It's okay. Say it scared, say it weak, say it whatever. Just say it and leave. You don't even have to say it. You can just quickly grab your things and go. It doesn't matter. Just get yourself out of the situation however you need to. When you don't know, you feel like anything goes, and it doesn't. So I just want to tell you, guy or girl, and I say guy because I had a guy friend tell me in college that when he had his physical in high school, he had a woman doctor. And she did things that he didn't think were right. And I'm pretty sure after talking to my brothers that what she did to him doesn't happen in a guy's physical. So it can happen to guys and it can happen to girls. And I just want you to feel empowered and feel okay with leaving. Just get up and go. It's totally fine. You're going to feel so much better about yourself for doing that, even if it's awkward at the moment. Sadie Robertson, her, I guess, cousin or something, told her one time, and I thought it was really great. 5 seconds of awkward can save you a lifetime of regret. And I think that applies here too. So no matter how awkward it is, just get yourself out of the situation and you will be so thankful that you did later. Okay, that's all I have. I wanted to make sure that you guys know that you can leave and you have permission to do it. Okay, I don't know if that recorded.